Well, thank you for taking the time to review another episode of Develop, Integrate, and Sustain TV, keeping it simple. Today we're going to share a few words and talk a little bit about collecting information that will benefit your environment. Here we have three primary sections of this spreadsheet that we're using to collect. One is just general information. Two is more specific information where we're going to spend 90% of this video at. And three is just general information at the very back tab of the spreadsheet that's a help area. So if you wonder what a definition is, you can look it up there. Let's go ahead and go right into the spreadsheet itself. Here you have the first screen, of course, the tabs here on the bottom. Let me move that up a hair bit for you. Here you have general information that you fill in. Here you have a help section that discusses a little bit about different topics, and if you don't understand what an HBA is or a disk capacity means or a NOS, you can go in here and take a look. But this is where we want to spend most of our time. So here we're collecting information relative to a server. Why is it important that we collect server information about our environment? Well, without the knowledge of our servers and what it is that they do and their capacity, we will never be able to provide an accountable customer experience to our users. We have to know these dependencies, these variables that impact how well your environment operates. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the common things you'll want to collect. Server name, very obvious, right? Test server, whatever it is. Here, is the server active? Yes, no, or unknown. We need to just know, is the server actually alive and doing something? What is the service that's being offered by the server? So we're going to say that this is an email server. This is actually a very important question because we need to know what function it's performing in the environment. And generally speaking, we're talking file servers, print servers, email servers. Maybe it's a controller, maybe it's an archive, whatever it is, put it down there. Estimated current server performance. So this is performance utilization, usually use perfmon in a Windows environment, but and there's tools in Linux as well, but you want to collect the utilization. Is that server under peak time being utilized 50% of the time, 80% of the time, or 10% of the time? This information helps us understand what consolidation is available. What's a NOS? It's a network operating system. Is it running Windows or Linux? How many network interface cards are in the server? Very important question, because we want to know, based on this, is the server virtual? If the server's not virtual, is it capable of being virtual? We're going to answer here. And is it type 1 or type 2? If you click on the box, you don't understand it, here's some information that they'll help you with it. Type 1 is a hardware-based virtualization. Type 2 is a software-based virtualization, meaning I've got an operating system, let's just say a Windows XP system, and I'm virtualizing a Linux desktop. I click open my Windows XP version, I run just as a normal operating system. I click on another icon on the desktop that brings me Linux. That's virtualization type 2. Alright, is it persistent computing? Persistent computing includes all of these areas. You're going to have to watch another Disk TV episode to really understand what persistent computing means. But essentially, persistent computing allows that computer to stay up, whether it's been down and we need to recover it, or whether it's just operating and it's in a cluster or what have you. Again, if you don't understand everything about persistent computing, look it up here under help. It'll help you a little bit. How long can the server be unavailable? This is very important to understand about a server in your environment. How long can you be without it? Don't ever tell your users it's never going to go down. There's always a little glitch that may happen to a user, even if it's just the user repointing themselves somewhere else. But here are the basic guidelines. Over 4 hours, 30 minutes, 10 to 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, those type of things. This will help us understand what type of persistent computing needs to be on there and what the risk is in the environment. Is there external storage? Yes or no? That's an important question. And then we talk a little bit about that storage. We're not going to get into the storage here in this Disk TV episode, but how much storage does that server require? Are there HBAs connecting to that storage? And the fiber fabric and HBAs are one. And then does that server boot from SAN? This boot from SAN discussion links very nicely with the persistent computing discussion. I know we went through that. Boy, I've lost my breath. We went through that pretty quick. But that is server collection, basic server collection in the environment. Stay tuned for other episodes. Thank you again for joining us today.